All right, 30 seconds into flight. The rumbles are still building here in the Raptor's nest. We're seeing 32 out of 33 engines lit on the Super Heavy right now. Coming up shortly is going to be max Q, that maximum aerodynamic pressure as we go uphill on the vehicle.
Max Q.
All right, we just passed through max Q. All right, 30 seconds into flight. The rumbles are still building here in the Raptor's nest. 30 seconds until we get to
We're seeing 32 out of 33 engines lit on the Super Heavy right now.
The speed of sound. Coming up shortly is going to be max Q, that maximum aerodynamic pressure as we go uphill on the vehicle.
Ship ignition. Stage separation confirmed. Max Q. Acquisition of Houston.
All right, we just passed through max Q, so we're going to continue on up. We still have about 30 seconds until we get to stage separation.
Looks like all 13 are
Starship
lit.
now flying faster
Kate, we got a
than the
booster on
speed
the
of
way back to
sound.
the Gulf and a ship on the way to space.
Power and telemetry nominal.
All right, the first stage currently performing.
All right, so you got a couple of views. You got some ground trackers in your top camera there. You're looking down the top of the booster and the bottom left, and then a camera
landing in the waters of the Gulf of Mexico.
In the bottom
As you can
right,
see on your screen in the bottom left-hand corner, we were only using
once we get the hot staging, a lot of things happen all at once simultaneously.
Basically,
we're going to light the engines on the ship, starting with the RVAC first, and then the three center sea level engines. Before we're separated, all of that exhaust gets plumed out the side of the hot stage, and then the ship will separate itself. All but the three center engines on the booster are going to shut down, so the booster never stops and thrusts while we go through this hot stage maneuver.
Hot stage.
After
as we mentioned, this is a temporary fix to help reduce the weight of the booster, the Super Heavy booster. Future iterations will have a lighter weight integrated hot stage structure that won't need to be jettisoned.
As of right now, still looking in like 32 out of 33 Raptors lit.
Now, after we
jettison
that hot stage, the booster will begin to
and we'll start to see those
attempt its
stagger
water
down. They're going to
landing
turn
in
off
the
and
Gulf.
bank, so you'll
In the
see the
meantime,
lights
the ship
on the bottom
will
left
coast
screen
for
of
about
the
40
engines
minutes or
that
so,
are
up
active
to an altitude of
to turn off in
214
different groups.
kilometers.
You'll see those
and
three
after its
center
coast
ones
phase,
lit.
it will attempt a controlled re-entry, including a flip maneuver and a landing burn just before splashing down in the Indian Ocean. But as a reminder, we are not attempting.
Trajectory nominal.
Good news there. Trajectory is looking good for the ship, which is on the right-hand side of your screen.
Acquisition of Houston.
As a reminder for booster, the primary goal today is to do a landing burn and a splashdown in the water.
Ship under its
and
own
we are
power,
just about 30 seconds away from that landing burn, expecting to begin. And
Kate, we got a
incredible
booster on the way
view
back to the
from
Gulf and a
the
ship on the way to space.
Portion of the booster. This is basically on top of the Super Heavy booster,
Acquisition signal.
where we have jettisoned that hot stage. So now we can see this incredible view of Earth as it's making its way back down to the Gulf of Mexico. Right now, the booster is using the four hypersonic fins to guide itself through atmospheric re-entry.
A little over 1 minute. This propels the booster back toward the coast,
we are expecting
taking it to a
here.
landing in the waters of the Gulf of Mexico. As you can see on your screen in the bottom left-hand corner, we were only using the 13 center engines
we will be igniting 13 engines, and this is a great view. On your left-hand side is a view. There's three views from the booster, and your right-hand side a view from the ship. And you can see those grid fins on your left-hand screen rotating and turning to guide the booster.
Lots of excitement. So right here, this is our view of the jettisoned hot stage. As we mentioned, this is a temporary fix to help reduce the weight of the booster, the Super Heavy booster. Future iterations will have a lighter weight integrated hot stage structure that won't need to be jettisoned. Now, after we jettison that hot stage, the booster will begin to attempt its water landing in the Gulf. In the meantime, the ship will coast for about 40 minutes or so, up to an altitude of 214 kilometers. and after its coast phase, it will attempt a controlled re-entry, including a flip maneuver and a landing burn just before splashing down in the Indian Ocean. But as a reminder, we are not attempting. Good news there, trajectory is looking good for the ship, which is on the right-hand side of your screen.
Right there. As we mentioned before,
at this point in time, as you can see, we have no engines lit on the booster. It is coasting back toward the Gulf of Mexico for a water landing and ship under power of all 6 Raptor engines. There's 3 sea level and 3 vacuum Raptor engines that are lit, as we can see on your screen.
Just there, we could see that those have also successfully cut off.
Ship FDS is saved.
These views have been looking incredible.
There's great news there.
Super Heavy has been performing beautifully today. And you can hear the crowd is very excited about it. As a reminder for Booster, the primary goal today is to do a landing burn and a splashdown in the water. And we are just about 30 seconds away from that landing burn, expecting to begin. And an incredible view from the forward portion of the booster. This is basically on top of the Super Heavy booster, where we have jettisoned that hot stage. So now we can see this incredible view of Earth as it's making its way back down to the Gulf of Mexico. Right now, the booster is using the 4 hypersonic grid fins to guide itself through atmospheric re-entry.
The ship is getting closer to the Earth's atmosphere.
And we are expecting that landing burn here.
Let's talk a little bit about how Starship will survive re-entry, hopefully, and control itself.
Exactly. We've been talking about this entire flight test. There's 18,000 hexagonal. We will be igniting 13 engines, and this is a great view. On your left-hand side is a view, is 3 views from the booster, and your right-hand side a view from the ship. Now, during atmospheric, and you can see those grid fins on your left-hand screen, as high as rotating and turning to guide the booster. And there's that landing. So those tiles are there to help protect the vehicle from this extreme heat. That landing burn just begun, and you can see the spots have control of the vehicle. That's exactly what we want to hear for this flight test. Again, we are going to be doing a propulsive landing instead of a more traditional means like parachute. And we are expecting re-entry to begin here in just about a minute. Re-entry. Awesome view that we have here. Congratulations to the SpaceX team!
When we first returned from the coast phase, again,
ship has entered terminal guide.
That was absolutely incredible. The first successful splashdown of the Super Heavy booster. Loved seeing it just tip over into the water before losing that footage. Now the next milestone is coming up in about under a minute. The ship is going to shut off its Raptor engines, which we see right there. As we mentioned before, today's test flight is not an orbital flight, but rather one that demonstrates Starship's orbital capability.
Watching Interstellar or something. This is wild to see this, but the ship
right now
is still
we are under power
down.
with just the 3 center Raptor engines.
How far can it go? That is
expecting those, and
keep your eye
just there we can see that those have also successfully cut off.
Right now.
Now, ultimately, the data is the payload today. We've been saying it multiple times. Our teams are sitting reviewing this data live, learning where
there's great news there. As you can see, we were hoping to hear
there with the
amazing views once again from Starship. We have our second Starship in space. These live views being brought to us by Starlink, which is on board the ship. Dan, what an incredible view we have once again. So exciting. We got another ship in space.
I'm like still jumping up and down. This whole building was going absolutely insane when we saw the booster hit the water. I mean,
keep an eye on the bottom right corner of your
everybody
screen
that's just been putting in insane amounts of hours and everything to make this thing a reality. And I feel like every single time we do one of these, we're seeing something wildly new. We got to see the hot stage jettison. and the booster in the water. But
to get this view
just to recap real quick over everything that's happened. So we lifted off at 7:50 a.m. only 9 minutes ago. How has it only been 9 minutes? 7:50 a.m. Central at 12:50 UTC. We saw 32 of the 33 Raptor engines on Super Heavy make the ascent. We had successful cutoff, successful hot staging. All 6 engines on the ship powered it all the way into a nominal orbital trajectory. And we've already been getting some live views from the ship on board. After that, the booster was able to do its boost back burn. Oh, this looks like we're actually getting some views from the ground still, potentially from Florida, of the ship as it's up there. That's a view from some of our tracking cameras in the ground in Florida. But the ship, we just heard successful orbital insertion, so it's right where it needs to be, and is now going to continue on its way to coast until it comes to re-entry. But I mean, the booster, the successful boost back burn was commanded, and then a landing burn. It looked like we saw 12 of the 13 engines light up, and then that first ever soft splashdown in the water. So a whole lot still to come. Ship now on its way to its primary objective of entry. That's going to be coming up.
It was a little bit of
just under 40 minutes from now.
Going down,
so a lot still to come,
but we were able to hear
what a 9
to
minutes
did its landing burn. It
sounded
sounded like we might got 2 engines.
Can't wait to see what entry's going to show us.
The final call for landing burn shut down.
That launch
we'll go back through all the data, but we did get confirmation that a landing burn took place. Starship made it through re-entry and did its first ever landing burn